everybody, and welcome back. I'm sure that this probably looks a little bit strange because, yes, that is my husband, Richard, and we are not together in the same room on the couch like we always are, or upstairs in the chairs next to each other. I am actually in South Dakota right now, seeing my grandbaby for the very first time. And because we're kind of a giant group of people, only me and a couple of the girls came to see him. And so that we didn't overwhelm everybody. Richard and Noah and Josie all stayed home to take care of the animals because we got quite a few of those. So we're going to do a Zoom together because, believe it or not, today is our 100th episode. And I figured that there was really no better way to celebrate the 100th episode than to record it with my husband because he has been there every step of the way along this journey for whether it be our keto carnivore journey or the YouTube or now our newest adventure, which is the Mighty Network. So I really wanted to just spend time with him for this episode even though we're about 12 hours apart via car ride. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. What's the word I'm thinking of? As untraditional, I guess, as this is. It's certainly not the way I was planning on doing my 100th episode, but life happens. So here we are. How are you guys surviving, my love, with being over there without us other people?
Well, we're doing fine. I'm trying to cook lots of steaks. That's all Noah's asking for right now, anyways. And so, yeah, I guess I'll find out how much trouble I get in when you get home.
Oh Lord, I don't even know what's waiting for me. No stress, right? Not at all. It took us 13 and a half hours to get here in the car yesterday, so I'm exhausted. Right now, I'm like, I don't care what you did. You can clean it up later. It's fine. Whatever. But anyways, well, I figured we'd start real quick. Um, you can just kind of recap our journey from your perspective, because everyone always gets to hear it from my perspective. And you, woo, as we knock over the
Yeah,
computer,
good.
let's not do that.
Sure, goes back a
So
little easier than I thought.
why don't you go ahead and just kind of hit the highlights of our keto carnivore journey from your perspective?
Well, from my perspective, let's see. Well, it started right before Christmas in December 2018. I kind of stepped on the scale and wasn't happy, hadn't been happy where I was for quite a while. And I knew that if I kept going down the path I was going, it was going to not turn out very well. And we were at your brother's right before Christmas when that happened. And I pretty much said, like you said before, I don't care how much it costs. We need to find out how to lose weight. At least that's how our journey started. It was to find out how to lose weight. And then I don't know how you stumbled upon keto, but you came across keto, and we, of course, spent all the money, that you could to try and get to lose the weight. But our journey started with a novel concept, and it was with our first few people that we followed. We followed some of the people in the beginning, like Thomas DeLauer and Dr. Berg, and a few others that were talking about fasting and different things on how to get healthy. And so we started down the Dr. Berg path because at the time that seemed to be the best information that we could find. And for us, it worked. It actually worked out very well for us. The only side effect of that, me going down that path, was the fact I ended up oxalate dumping and getting kidney stones really bad. So I was passing probably one stone roughly every 2 to 3 weeks. And it wasn't fun. The first one I passed was really painful. But once I figured out the pain and everything, then after that, I was able to pass them and tolerate the pain to a certain level. But yeah, I mean, it was really interesting. It really made us do a paradigm shift because once we figured it out and everything, and if I want to remember correctly, it was Dr. Berg that said, stop trying to lose weight, but get healthy So we had to do that whole paradigm shift. We had to think about our health and weight loss in a completely different way. And we kind of had to re-educate ourselves on a lot of stuff. And you've done a ton of research into this, and I've kind of just rode the coattails all the way as you've done the research and stuff. I mean, I've done some of my own, but when it comes to the real research, you're the one that has the real passion to be able to learn this stuff. So, and I have the passion to want to tell the world just like you do, and so you know went that way, and we saw many benefits from it.
Well, and when I was doing all of this research and I was really starting to get into everything, you were working anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. So I remember you coming to me and you were like, I don't care what you're doing, just tell me what to eat. Just tell me what to do. And it worked, which is why that's kind of where I am now, is that is become my job, is to tell people what to do and what to eat. You got it for free because, you're my husband. And so now it really has become a job for our family. And now you're not working anymore.
No,
We're filing for SSDI, and that is a process. You are 100% disabled through the VA. So there's a lot going on in our lives. And now you're finally able to sit down and do a bunch of the research too. So now you're kind of taking the baton on to the next area, because now I'm out of time to do research. I can't just sit around and watch all the videos anymore. So it's funny because we've switched, because now you're the one that's watching all of these videos, and you're the one that's bringing things to my attention, while I'm the one that's editing the videos. And then of course we have the mighty network that we're doing now to try to supplement some of the income, because none of this has been free. None of it's been cheap even. That's one thing people don't seem to understand, is YouTube is not free. Like, it's not free for us to do this. There's not only our time involved, but things that we use as well. And it blows my mind. I think in 2018 there was this meme that came out, that there was this 8-year-old that made, it was like $20 million in 1 year on YouTube. And I'm like, that is insane. Unfortunately, I'm not to that point yet. So
well,
go ahead.
a lot of people see that and they see all the other successes. I mean, there are people making millions of dollars a year off of YouTube,
That ain't us.
and that's not us. I mean, think about the number of views one has to get. I've been doing the calculations. So for every view that you get, you only make a penny off of that one view. So it takes a lot of pennies to add up to make anything substantial. I mean, you're getting 50, 60,000 views a month, and you're only making maybe $400, maybe. And that's all dependent on if you release a regular one. If you release a short, then you make nothing off of that. And you spend hours and hours, trying to make sure the video is done the way you want it to help, bring a message to the people who subscribe and to the people who don't subscribe. You just like everybody else in the keto carnivore and ketovore realm, world, should I say, in this world or way of eating, people, we're trying to get that message out to everybody else. And a lot of it is time behind the scenes of us doing this day in and day out and trying to come up with more content and more information and stuff like that. And it's been stressful, but it's been fun because I'm learning new things. I mean, I already had an understanding of technology from an industrial aspect. Now I'm seeing it from a different aspect, get into the world of transcribing and translations and trying to do all that. And it's not easy, especially when you're trying to translate your videos into foreign languages. And I barely speak English, let alone other languages.
Yeah, it's been quite the adventure. We had no idea what we were doing, and we're trying to just kind of figure it out along the way. I remember when I was first talking about starting a YouTube channel, it wasn't even my idea. It was Richard's idea. He was like, you need to start a YouTube channel. And I looked at him and I was like, you are insane. I legitimately make fun of three of our children because they say that they want to be YouTubers someday. I am not about to go and start a YouTube channel when I've been making fun of these kids. I mean, it was months of him saying, babe, you need to make a YouTube channel. You need to start it. You need to do it. And what's funny is I fought him and fought him and fought him. And we were part of Dr. Barry's Patreon. We still are, Dr. Barry's Patreon page. And we got on for one of the meetings, one of the Zoom calls, and Richard said something. And Dr. Barry was like, do it. He was like, you need to do that. He's like, the more we can get the word out, the better it is. After we got off that call, Richard was like, so you're going to listen to him since you won't listen to me? I was like, dagnabbit. I did finally come around, and I finally started the YouTube channel, which was just over a year ago. I think December 9th
But
was my 1 year.
December 9th was the first day we uploaded. We spent most of November doing it. And it was probably a good time to do it at that time because we had just moved to Wisconsin. We were living out of the RV at the time still. So it probably happened when it was supposed to happen. I mean, we've been talking about it for months and it just wasn't happening. But we were going through a very huge change at that time. So we were transitioning from our life in California to a life in Wisconsin. And so, you start a new life, then you might as well start a new hobby or a new career or a new project or something like that. And when we moved here, that's when we started up, and it took us about a month, and we had to buy you a laptop. We bought you a new laptop for it, and had to do a lot of research. We were also taking classes at the time. I hate to say it, is the Cinema 10 class that we took at Solano College. Actually, I go back and look at it now, and there's things that we learned in that class that we're using now that I thought I would never use. But at that time, it was still in the infancy stage of you need to start a YouTube channel. So, and of course, like I said, you started the channel, or you got your YouTube channel in November, uploaded your first video December 9th. And here we are a year later, 100 episodes. And I think your last count was like 6,000, almost 250 subscribers, somewhere in there. So we've grown quite a bit in that year, and you've done a phenomenal job with it. I mean, I don't know how many times, you'll ask me a question or I'll make a suggestion, and hate to say it, a lot of my suggestions get blown out of the water because whatever she's doing is working, and I just need to step back and let her do what she needs to do. So
It's been a huge learning experience for both of us, and especially since you stopped working and now we're applying for disability, and that's been tough on everybody, and we've had to make a lot of sacrifices. But I know it's going to be good because I know that we're doing the right thing by trying to reach people and help them and spread the word. And yeah, there's been some uncomfortable times for us, but I also believe that those are going to be blessed and that everything is on the right path, no matter what that looks like. And Lord knows, I do not know what the future holds at all, and we can only do, what we can do. So yeah, there's been a couple of times that Richard's okay, a few, maybe more than a few times that he's been like, you need to do this, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. So that's
yeah,
been
well,
go
it
ahead.
comes down to the fact that sometimes you need other people telling you to do it, like Mighty Networks.
Or
We were
start a
talking
YouTube
about,
channel.
or well, your YouTube channel, and then we're going through the same phase again. A full year later, we're going back to the same process again. Because we were wanting to start a community or business based on aspects of a person's life, and one of them was health, and trying to teach them everything that we've been learning. We went through the bumps, and we went through the trials and the tribulations, the ups, the downs, the wins, the failures. We're still going through them. We're still learning. And I think it's Danny Conway, if I remember correctly, that always says, we don't want to meet you where we want you. We want to meet you where you're at. You know, a person has to want this. And I think that's what it comes down to, the whole aspect of doing the YouTube and the Mighty Networks. You know, the Mighty Networks was something that wasn't even on our radar, but it was something that we wanted to do, but in a different way. We wanted to do it in the local community. However, sometimes I forget how small this society is on a whole globally, how small our world really is in the grand scheme of things, that a community is no longer the people that live around you physically, but the people that live on the same planet as you. And maybe someday it might be the same galaxy, the same universe, or something like that. But our purpose is not changed. Our purpose is to help people, to get them to a place where they're healthy and they're able to be independent from everything else, and not have to worry about the ailments that arise from things they don't fully understand. That's where we're coming in. We're learning it. We're doing the research on it, and we're trying to break that information down in sizable chunks for other people to learn and other people to understand. And that's not easy. It's not easy at all.
No, yeah, meeting people where they're at and taking them where they want to go is actually a really difficult concept because we see where people should go. We know where people should go, but we can't force anybody to do that. I mean, we experience this with all of our grown children all the time.
Yes.
I know exactly what my grown children should do, but they need to do it. They have to want it too. And they have to go through their own growing pains. So, and that's part of coaching, like with YouTube, there is no coaching at all. It's this is the content. You ask a few questions in the comment section afterwards, and that's all the interaction that there is, which is why we started the Mighty Network. And I want to talk about the Mighty Network, and then I also want to address some of the negative comments that we've already gotten about starting the Mighty Network. So first, let's just talk about the Mighty Network itself, how we're doing ours, because ours is different. Ours is not like Steak and Butter Girl. It's not like Dr. Barry's Patreon page. It is different. We are running it completely different from other people, and we can explain why we're doing it the way we're doing it. Be it right or be it wrong, only time will tell. But we get to, be on this journey and make mistakes at the same time, and we have to learn from our mistakes as well. So we started our Mighty Network as a place to continue the education, continue the learning, continue the conversation after what is seen on YouTube. I'm not changing my YouTube content. I'm still giving you recipes. I'm still giving you interviews. None of that is changing. The Mighty Network takes it to the next level. It's for those people who want to go deeper. They want more help. They need more help. Now, if you were to hire me personally, one-on-one as a coach, that is more expensive. I don't even charge as much as a lot of other people do, but it is more expensive. Doing the Mighty Network allows us to charge a lot less than individual coaching sessions. And yet you get access to not only me, but also to Danny Conway and any other coaches that come for special occasions. They come and they'll come and visit. They'll have their own special interviews. We do group documentaries as a bonus, and then we discuss those afterwards. So that is why we started it. And we've been getting a lot of recent comments or questions lately from the people in our group. Okay, well, is it like this? Is it like Bella's in this way? What about like the billing and stuff like that? Why don't you go ahead and explain why we're doing what we're doing? And then we can kind of touch on that.
Well, first and foremost, I think the best place to start is, and maybe best place for me to start is from the cost perspective. I know a lot of people want a lot of free stuff, but it's been shown over and over. And one of the things they actually cover in some of the training in Mighty Networks is people don't appreciate anything they don't pay for.
They pay
And
attention to
so,
what they pay for.
exactly. And because of that, we have to not only be able to provide a space for everybody to be, but we have to make it affordable too. And we had to set our price at a range that would allow people to join that wasn't going to be too overpriced. And that was hard for us because we've never dealt with this before. A lot of people saying that we're undervaluing the services that we're providing. And maybe we are, maybe we aren't. It really comes down to the individual person that makes that decision. If it's too expensive for you, then I'm sorry. It's just the way it has to be. We spend hours and hours and hours doing computer work, doing research, trying to make sure that the mining network is running. Like I do, I get more to the studies. So I'm trying to find study after study after study after study that deals with this way of eating and putting that information out there on our mighty network. If I can't put it out there, if I can't put the link out there because it costs, or I can't put the PDF file out there because it might cost, well, I can't take money away from the person that did the research. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll find the abstract, put the abstract on there. Now that's something that you don't have to go find. It's located in one central place on the Mighty Network. Okay, and then on top of that, you get to come on 4 times a week and have a discussion. Let's say you have a question about something. Well, unless you pay for Amy's one-on-one coaching, and I'm working on trying to get coaching certified myself, or me, or Danny, or Ayana eventually, then that's going to cost more. Well, we're trying to do it in a way, yeah, it's not one-on-one, but now you've reduced your cost because you'll be able to come in and in a group setting, maybe hopefully get your question answered, depending on how many people that show up. One of the things that we encourage when we post the events, but prior to them happening, is always put your questions in the events, because we're going to cover those questions first. And then any additional questions that might arise during the hour session, then we can address those also. Then on top of that, we're working on guest speakers. Well, some guest speakers are free. Some guest speakers cost. Right now, we know that if there's one certain speaker that I want to get on there, it's $500 a pop every time we ask him to speak. Okay, that's how much it costs. It's not free. People assume that it's free. It's what, over $1,000 a year just for the Mighty Network. It's freaking almost $200 a year for the Zoom package that we have. So that's cost, and that doesn't include my translation and transcription programs that I have that cost a yearly cost and everything. I mean, I would say we're pretty close to, it's going to, and I haven't even got everything, but as we grow and I'm able to get more and more, it's probably going to cost right around $5,000 a year just to be able to run the Mighty Network. And I don't have an income other than this now, and I'm not actually earning anything. Amy's the one that earns everything. She's the face of Carnivore's Angel, and she is the face of Mighty Networks. That's her. This is her baby. She's the boss. So I mean, we can go down the whole rabbit hole of cost and what the how we need to make money and be able to still support ourselves and stuff like that. So we're not doing it to be mean. It's just we're willing to put all of our efforts into doing the research to bring a message to everybody else in hopes that we help just one person. That's all we care about, is we want to help one person. And then we're hoping that it's many, many more than that. But it's worth it when you help just one person.
Yeah. And we're trying to find the balance between, us being able to at least make the money back. We had to take a business loan out to be able to even start the Mighty Network. I have to pay that back. So there's a lot more to it than just, so we'll bring in that negative comment right now. This morning I woke up to a comment on YouTube, and they said, you too can pay to be my friend. I, in no way, am asking people to pay to be my friend. I made it very clear that my YouTube content is not changing. Um, and up to this point, I have not been getting compensated for all of the time and effort and energy that I have put into the YouTube stuff. I've spent thousands in programs to get certified. I have not been compensated for that at all. And there was no guarantee I was ever going to be compensated for that. And I completely understand that. But that was never the point of it. And there was another comment that said, and this is me exiting stage left. I have to say, as hard as it is to get those kinds of comments, those are not the kind of people that I want in my life, because those aren't the people who really need the help. I want the people who who do really need the help. I've had a lot of people comment on the fact that they're stuck on Social Security. They can't join the Mighty Network. And that is why my content on YouTube isn't changing. There's so much free content out there to be able to help people and meet them where they are at financially as well. It would be one thing if I said, okay, I've done this YouTube thing, it was fun, but now I'm going to go over here where I can make more money. But that's not what I said at all. That is not our goal. Our goal is still to help someone, even if it is free. Even if we get nothing for it, that is our goal. That has not changed. So, the way we're doing it on our Mighty Network is that we are charging, it's 30 days of access. Now, when you pay for 30 days of access, you can either do a 30-day subscription or you can do a yearly subscription. There's a discount for doing the yearly subscription because I love giving discounts where I can. But if you get, and you do the monthly, you get 30 days of access to everything in the Mighty Network, past and present. And then you've got 30 days into the future that you get to be a part of making the next portion of what the content is. And I've had a lot of people that have said, no, that's a horrible idea. People should only have access to what we're doing right now. My goal in giving you access to everything that's come in the past is that if people take the time to watch the replays of the Zooms, then they get to learn from those things. Maybe their question is already answered in those replays. And so they will not have to ask that question, but it'll spark another question when it comes to the live meetings. So what you're paying for is what has come before, and then the live interaction in the Zoom meetings, plus the special meetings, the bonus documentaries that we watch. So it really does bring a lot of value. It is worth it, according to the 42 members that we have right now. Every single one of them have said that it's absolutely worth every penny. I know that people are in different places in their lives, but this is where we are. We're trying to meet you on many different levels. We're giving you free content on YouTube. We're giving you free content on Facebook. I'm giving you free content on Instagram. I know I'm terrible at Instagram, and I'm sorry about that. I really am trying to get better. I'm just a little busy. And now we're adding another layer. Nothing else is suffering. We want to increase what we're bringing to everybody and not decrease and refocus it in another area. So it's hard. It's really hard for us to do this kind of thing and then get the negative comments of people telling us that we're just doing this for the money and we're just being greedy. And I've come to a point where I have to brush it off and I can't take it personally because I am a people pleaser. I always have been. And I'm terrible at caring about what everyone thinks of me. And really, truly, the only thing I really want to worry about is what that guy right there on my screen thinks of me. Because I know he's always telling me that he's proud of me with everything that I've done. He's constantly telling me that. And so that's where I'm choosing to focus my attention right now while we're starting this, because it's been a little bit tough. I love our group that we have. And I love that Bella over at the Steak and Butter Gang, she and I have an amazing relationship together. And we support one another. There's been some rumors going around that we're at war and we're battling each other for people, and that's absolutely the furthest thing from the truth. Bella and I are probably going to do an Instagram live together, just to show everybody, yeah, no, we're good. We still love each other and we support each other. And a sweet friend of mine says this is a big blue ocean, and there are many, many, many fish. There's more than enough for both of us. And another saying, if we're talking about water, a rising tide lifts all boats. The goal is health. We just happen to choose low carb as the method, as the transportation to get there. So that's kind of the struggles that we're seeing right now, but also the amazing outcome from starting the Mighty Network. And that's what we're doing right now. There's I know there's so much more that's going to come on this journey of ours with our farm and um, kids and holy Lord in heaven. There's just so much. But I have to say, I couldn't ask for someone else to do this with than that guy sitting right there. I wish I was there. It kind of sucks being over here, but I know it happened for a reason, so it'll be good.
Well, and that's the one thing that's been great about our whole journey is we've been supporting each other this whole time. Um, like I said, both between the wins and the fails, we've been there for each other. And I was frustrated with the comments. I'm not going to lie. Um, and it's frustrating because it's like, okay, we've been working on this for over a year. I've cashed out all my retirement accounts to be able to support this, to be able to support my family during this time of transition and everything. And, we've got so much money tied into this. I mean, I don't even begin to fully know how much time time she has tied up into this. I have some time tied up into this, but the amount of money we've put into this to bring this information to people. And in the beginning, I figured we wouldn't see anything from it for at least 3 to 5 years. So we completely put it all in faith and said, all right, let's go for it, with no grandeur dreams of ever making a dime on it. So a lot of people need to just step back and look at the big picture and look at what we're doing and question on if it can help them or not, not whether or not we're being greedy, but whether or not it's something for them. And I just think that they need to look at the plank in their own eye before they look at the splinter in mine. And I'm trust me, I'm not perfect. I judge all the time. um Everybody knows what my reference is to. um but yeah, it's been really fun and interesting, and I'm learning mighty networks, and I'm loving the community. I'm a little outnumbered in the community. Okay, guys, come on, help me out here. Um, but we do team up with Steak and Butter Gal. Everybody needs to understand that Steak and Butter Gal, or Steak and Butter Gang in this case, their mighty network, they focus more on the hardcore carnivore. For those who want to be strict carnivore and really want to try and get rid of everything out, like sweeteners and herbs and spices and stuff like that. That's who their group is. Okay, we want to focus more on the people who want to be keto or ketovore, who are just finding out about it and need somebody to help guide them through it. There's a lot of people out there on YouTube putting this information out there, but sometimes you need that extra, more personal touch. Now, it's not a one-on-one coaching thing, but it's more of a personal touch by allowing everybody to come in on the Zoom meetings that we have 4 times a week, Mondays and Fridays, to ask their questions, to get that little bit more personal touch that you wouldn't normally get with a YouTube channel. Granted, some people think that doing YouTube live, is that way too. But even in a lot of the YouTube lives that I've seen, people are just typing up questions and popping them in there. And it's up to the person doing the live, the host, to catch that question and answer it. So my personal opinion, I think Amy's been doing a wonderful job. She's slowly been adding things on, and it's been at her pace, a little slower than I think it should be, but it's still at her pace. And like I said before, this is her thing. I've spent the last 25 years of my life working, and the whole time we've been married, she's watched me work for 12 hours a day, sometimes for like almost 4 straight months with no days off. I tell people all the time, from the beginning of January of last year till the time I quit my job in September, last year, September of 2020, I had a total of 6 days off. That was it. 6 days. From January to September 11th, I had 6 days total off, no more. And that was 6 unpaid days. Let me get that straight because I did have to take a couple of weeks of vacation in there where I wasn't allowed to go into work. So I had to take 6 unpaid days off last year. The rest of them were all paid. I was technically working or I was actually at work. So I think out of that, you got those 6 days. And I think I took 15, 16, 17 paid vacation days last year. So that's 23 days in 6 months that I was actually with the family.
So
So,
we definitely are due some family time. I like this plan right now. Oh, and to go back to what he said, keto, don't get me wrong, we have carnivores too. We have several super strict all-in carnivores in our group. Um, Actually, Danny is just shy of super strict all-in carnivore. She doesn't do sweeteners. She does a little bit here and there. She does electrolytes and supplements and things like that and a protein powder. Other than that, the woman just eats animals. That's it. So ketovore, or carnivore, you're welcome to come. If you're triggered by any of those things that I just mentioned to you, Steak and Butter Gang is the best place for you to be because they don't talk about any of that stuff. So, but we're happy to have any of you, even low carb, just curious about this whole lifestyle and this way of eating. We'd love to have any of you. We'll put the link down below in case you're interested. And if you're not interested, please check back here in a couple of days and I will have another video posted for you with absolutely nothing missing. We're just kind of expanding out to see who else we can help in what other ways. So I'm waiting on my grandson to be delivered up here so that he can have his debut in front of everybody. Um, I can't think, is there anything else? I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have moved it. Here we go. It's going to mess it up. So, is there anything else that
well, I mean,
you can think of that we should mention?
I think the overall family aspect of taking the whole family this way is something that we haven't talked about,
Hmm.
but I think it has made a world of difference. I mean, it is. I've seen huge changes in all the kids and their attitude and how they react to it and stuff like that. And there, a lot of them are on board. Oh, the VIP arrived.
Yes, the VIP has arrived. There he is. I know
You
my
just made
hands
him
are
mad.
freezing. My hands are cold. He's 6 pounds and 12, almost 7 whole pounds. There he is, the first grandbaby. This is Luca James. He's happy. He's content. He's tiny. Dad just brought him in to come say hi to everybody. I showed the puppy in the last video, and now you get to see the baby with the hiccups. So, yes. Mm, thank you. Reaching, teeny tiny. Okay. Yes, family aspect. Yeah, there you go. There's that part of it.
Um,
Yeah.
Back to you,
No,
babe.
back to me. Okay. Well, I say we wrap it up. Hopefully that clarifies a little bit about what's going on, why we're doing what we're doing. Um, we're not out to make $1 million. I'm just not. I'm out to be able to provide for my family enough that we can survive. Um, we're behind on bills. We've had to give up some things. We've definitely made sacrifices. I'm not asking for your pity. I'm asking for your understanding and trust that just maybe we really are trying to help people. And that is what's most important. Um, so I hope that this clarifies a little bit. I hope that you guys enjoyed the 100th episode and I hope that you hang around to see what's next for us on our journey, not only health wise with what we're eating, but also what we're doing and in our lives and with the farm animals and everything. as strange as it is, I really do love sharing our lives with people. Um, and thank you so much for joining us. So hopefully we'll see you on the way.
Just a couple of bruised up souls.